third reason good people lose or fail is they become distracted versus being disruptors. So if you've seen previous mastery sessions, you know I've talked about productivity and exponential performance. And you've heard my term, which is most people in the world today are suffering from broken focus syndrome. Most leaders and producers and performers and creatives on the planet today are addicted to distraction, which is destroying their masterful production. And so if you want to leap from the majority, the 95%, and you know my brain tattoo, to have the results only 5% of the population have, you've got to be willing to do what 95% of the population are unwilling to do. And so if you look at most people, they are literally listening to their music when they should be working. They are literally checking their phones, and it has become a literal addiction. And they can't stop checking for the notification or the social media feed. And so they're spending the best hours of their finest days pursuing these shiny toys that at the end of their lives will amount to trivialities. And so you have what I call, and what I teach at the Titan Summit and my 2-day event for Personal Mastery Academy. And I've become very well known for these two events, which I've been running for the past many years. But literally, your gargantuan competitive advantage is to shift from what the majority are doing, where they're caught up in distraction and interruption and spending their days doing busy things versus creating. You can go to the top 5% by simply stripping out the distraction and living your days in what I call, and I also teach at my live events, called it's a method, and it's called the tight bubble of total focus. So literally, you strip away the distraction, you strip away the interruptions, and you start building these tight bubbles of total focus, which allow you to get monomaniacally concentrated on the few things that count. So literally, the third reason that good people lose or fail is they're distracted versus being monomaniacally focused on the few pursuits that would allow them to change the world. And if you look at Edison and Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, who was at the Titan Summit, in a past Titan Summit that we ran in Zurich, these people all have laboratories. These people all understand that one of the essences of genius is solitude. You've got to be willing and brave enough to spend a lot of time alone to do work that wows the world and disrupts your field.
I just want to help Robin clarify the use of the word distractions, because it could be kind of confusing. You see, I view it more as meaningless, short-term, impulsive pleasures. So checking your phone all the time, liking Facebook profiles, going through Tinder matches, taking drugs, partying, all these things. These are all sort of just short-term pleasure, hedonic tasks that really ultimately don't have too much meaning. And the problem with these distractions or short-term pleasures is if you take them all the time, the cost of these distractions go up. You have to up the ante, and they're never free. There's always some kind of hangover effect to these sort of distractions, whether it's something small like just, checking your Facebook profile for likes all the time, or, just busting out your phone and swiping right on every Tinder profile. So that could be very small, but, it does have sort of long-term consequences in that you become this sort of pleasure-seeking machine that's just there to collect points all the time and to level up, and that's just distracting you from the real meaning of life, which is basically life is suffering and you have to overcome it through adversity and helping out others in your community, and in terms helping out yourself, of course.